Hello everyone, I'm definitely a person, and welcome to, well, one of the last videos for me on this channel. And the reason for that is because, as you might be able to see, I made a little bit more progress since last episode, and I realized it was actually stopping me from playing this much and making actual progress was the fact that I had to record and edit, and sometimes I make really stupid mistakes that lead to hours of footage just being scrapped. So I've decided just to stop recording. I just start playing this because my original motivation for playing this for making this series was just to make it was just to make myself have the motivation to get to the point that you're seeing right now. And because the problem is, once I get to this point, I have no problem with motivation. It's just the starting few hours that really can be trouble. Which is why, another reason, yeah. Also, another reason why is because my recording environment isn't exactly the best. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, it's pretty even with noise suppression, it's pretty loud and there are occasional. So this is going to be the last one of the last episodes of Meatball. I still plan to do a couple more videos. So basically, I plan to do a recap video every chapter, kind of showing off my base, because some of you have been asking for a base tour. So then I'm going to do that every episode, every chapter. So right now, as you might be able to tell by this portal made of divine rock, I have finished chapter 3. If you go to the big picture here. Okay, maybe not. I thought Senna Artifact was literally chapter 3. Maybe it got shifted? I swear to God, Senna Artifact was chapter. It doesn't matter. I got to here. But I'm too lazy to make these, so. I think I'm gonna make the Singularity Master Manual first, which I mean, it takes a bunch of time. Really. I'll probably have it by tomorrow, but I am essentially chapter 3. I got all the progression done. All I gotta do now is just go to 8 more planets, mine 8 more rocks, infuse some ender cores, and then I'll be at chapter 4. So, yeah, let's start with the over. Whereas there aren't that many changes since you last seen this place. The main thing was that I had to do between lands, and I just spammed random callstones as I was flying. The Fanes one took me a bit of trouble because I couldn't find out what the rock snots were like, how they actually worked, but I eventually got that figured out. Also, um, yeah, that's about it for the world. Really, that's changed. I added a new portal here. Oh yeah, the Dragon Forges. Dragon Forges. This is for the tier 6 Mythic Miner because it requires Dreaded Seal, and this requires Dragon Steel. You can make this in the Dragonfire Crucible, but it's a lot of Dragonfire. And because I'm playing an old version, oh never mind, there is this recipe. I didn't see this, so I went with this recipe instead, which is a lot more expensive. Um, but yeah, here is my advanced rocketry area. I actually moved it up to the space station, which we'll see in a bit. But yeah. Now let's go to my main base, which is the void. The portal isn't working. Did I break it? Yeah, broken on the board sounds. So starting with the ME system, there aren't that many changes. Still there, it's still there, that's still there. For auto crafting, I have a bunch more patterns, and I've also got the sterilize section alter and suspects in a bit. Um, this way I have the deep dark portal. This is my magic area. So here I've got a Botania automation for runes of, I believe, sloth. This, yeah, no, rune of pride. I need a ton of this in order to make the plasma for the case planner. So here's my automation for that. It's really not that complicated. There's an impulse hopper dropping down runes of fire, summer, and mana diamonds. There is an open crate down below, which the impulse hopper shunts into. And there's also a third area for living rock because I found that the best thing to do was just to take this accumulator um, and just repeatedly drop living rock on the altar because it would be easier than timing the mechanical user in the one in forest. So yeah, that's what I went with. This accumulator is just for collecting the runes and stuff that fall onto the floor. And yeah, as you might notice, I cannibalized some of this because I went to the terrace, because I went to the outside of Arcana, I cheesed it, actually. And so, yeah. This is my room setup because I didn't want to tear that down for this space for you. This is my mana generating setup. It is simply two energy condensers, one with donuts, which is actually out. Yeah, one with donuts, one with golden carrots. Golden carrots one will probably be out soon. So, to alternate so that this Gormer list doesn't get overly saturated and produce less mana. You have a Gaia mana spreader facing into a recessive spark, and is my small mana battery with yeah, that, as well as one of the agglomeration plate. This is my offering altar to enter Erebus, and here's my dragon blood resin setup before I realized it had an EMC. So that's nice. Here's my very primitive trophy area and my ME controllers before I turn off channels. Let's continue with my magic area. This is my blood altar setup. I have the demon crystallizer and hellfire forge and demon crystal and stuff here before I discovered how to cheese into the will crystal monoliths. Here I have a digital blood agonizer with a self-aware wither data model in order to generate LP for the life essence. And here I have a design by Shadow 64, I think Shadow 46X2, for automating passing slates. It's actually very similar to the one Threefold used in his Divine Journey 2 playthrough. And it basically builds up a stock of blank slates. Then it moves. Oh, shoot, I forgot to switch this from. Okay. So it basically builds up a stock of blank slates until the buffer is run out. And then I should probably check out the upgrades. Why is this locked? Oh, that's all right. So yeah, basically it builds up because conduits try to see what's available to be inserted in the inventory. It takes advantage of that to make it so that you don't need to have any filtering. Once the blank slates fills up, the item conduits is unable to attach to. The item conduits are unable to extract blank slates from the blood altar anymore, so it remains in the blood altar until it becomes reinforced slates, and then imbued, and then demonic, and then ethereal. And the ethereal one has a void upgrade to make sure that the same thing doesn't happen with it and the blood altar overflows. This is my mob farm. I built this a long time ago, which is why it looks so crap. But back here I added an addition to automatically make Bloodmaster metal. I don't think it's working. Yeah, no, it's not. No clue why. Oh, nice. My katana is at like new plus. Yeah. Why are you hitting the skull? So up here we have a powered spawner. Some powered spawners setting up my mob. Really, it's just a simple mob farm. I should probably use the mob crusher, actually, instead of the mechanical user. Or, I mean, I could use spikes. In fact, yeah, you know what? I'll just put this spike down. Since this drops player kill only items. Whoops. That's not that direction. Okay, can turn this off. It's not direction. Okay. Spikes like that. Yeah, now it jumps in this one. I also have to. I also should probably switch this out for two. Yeah, as you can see, it's a very, very old setup that I have, which is why it's that bad. But I guess. Why are you not? Oh, because that. Um, we'll see how this goes. But let me cover this back up. The skeleton can't shoot. Yeah, I lost my dank null a bunch of times, which is why tank isn't in there anymore. But yeah. Um, it's really, really simple, this mob farm, but it works. I mean, I should probably get some Victor plates. Vector plates to push the mobs off the powered spawners. That is not the right direction. Why are they so fast? My god. They are like zooming. Uh, holy. Right there. Now that it should be working. Um, here is my setup for pink slime. I don't think it's running right now because it ran out of iron. I think I'll just pretty much keep the stock permanently. I don't want to waste an EMC link on this, so yeah, I think I'll just keep this stock. Um, I also get drawer. Can industrial programming machines auto output? I forgot. I don't think they can. Use conduits then. Um, yeah. Here we got my box knot set up. Oh, Here I got my rock snot set up if I didn't accidentally kill the rock snot. So this is how you get rock snot pearls. As you can see, I committed treason and used a mount duplicator. But yeah. Apparently every couple experience levels it gets, it gains on rock snot pearl. Below is my bewitchment, which I mined out this part for the ritual to get the crystal ball, I think. Crystal ball for, yeah, the crystalline lens for technical. As you can see, I just found a bunch of statues around the altar and added a dragon head and everything. But I scarcely use this area anymore, for reasons I will see later. This is my Thaumcraft area. with an infusion that gains 2 gain per cycle. This is nowhere near as optimal. This is nowhere near optimal, by the way, so don't try to follow this. But these are all infusion stability boosters, and I just spam random stuff in the conduits, really. This is my research area. So actually, I like to do the majority of this without fun. So, let's go to, yeah, why not? Let's go. This used to be my old power generation area with numismatic dynamos. It's not being used anymore because I've outgrown it because it was set up in mid chapter 2 and can barely support a tier 1 mythic mod. But here, actually, that's not the way. Um, so here is my setup for Eternal. I have 3 interfaces with crafting cards for Basalt Powder, Blitz Powder, and Blizz Powder. And this is how I make Eternal Dragonfire because it was too lazy to craft them myself. These are my interfaces, the molecular assemblers of max acceleration cards. I have 2 decently powerful CPUs. And here's my packaged auto set. It's not the conventional one, but I think it works way better. Basically, the way packaged auto works is items get sent to the packager, it gets packaged, and then gets sent to the unpackager, where the items get filtered down to the advanced package crafters. By not having these stacked on top of each other unnecessarily, I'm able to put more on packagers for each package crafter than I'm able to otherwise. Here's my passive setup for Living Gold. The energy can enter just ran out of MC. It takes use of 2 subnets, which place and break. So this one places gold, and this one breaks anything that can go in the net. And the subnet is only a drawer living. And I put these ladders everywhere, I think, because I didn't have anything better to do while waiting for, I don't remember what it was I was waiting for. Yeah, sorry, bee crystals. While I was waiting for bee crystals and I didn't have anything better to do. Yeah, here's my wire. It's pretty garbage, but I don't think there's any way to get back up there. When I see, no, there is. It's this way. All right. Yeah. My base is kind of a maze. I never navigated for it without flat, so I just realized why placing the furnace in the middle of the glass window would be a mistake. But anyways, here is my machine. Here's my like basic machine. It's got the Ender IO Alice melter, thermal pulverizer, glacier precipitator, energetic infuser, compactor. This makes ice crystals, and because it's so cheap, I just leave it running. An arcane ensorcellator and a wired charger with a. Actually, I think a dungeon capacitor, but I don't know. Yeah, let's charge them. Okay, I've got a quartz grindstone for ender dust, for void dust, for advanced rocket concrete. Yeah, I've got a template manager for copy and paste. As you can see, I've actually on demanded pure fluid with the crystal western. And so that's my charger. These cook ovens aren't currently running because I'm too lazy to put them on. The smeltery, though, it's way taller than before. That's because while making nuclear craft fusion, I realized just how much element I was going to need. I got impatient, and so I batched like 5 stacks of blocks or something like that. 1,800 ingots ish. So Here I've got smart output, I've got large plates at the moment because they seem to be used everywhere. This is my old combination crafter setup. It's no longer in use because I've got packaged, not packaged auto. Nothing me. Alright, let's go up. I'm losing hunger really fast for some reason. I don't know why. I have the Globetrotter stash, which is why I'm pacified. Yeah, this is the true meme today. It's my base. So first of all, we have a fluid transposer, which was with Flux Gems before I just gave up and craft tweaked the recipe in the fluid infuser for it. Because like it's gonna be added in the latest update. This is for Nether Sky Steel. This is a rolling machine for various purposes, a magma crucible, which I don't barely use anymore because Lumium I can make in the Alpha down there, and Signalum and Enderium. I've both got fluid infusers dedicated entirely to their production. Here I've got a painting machine for facades, a soul binder for parrot spawners, slice and splice for parrot spawners, manufactory for pulverizing. Although I basically use the tech reborn grinder now, except for in places where I'm too lazy to change the recipes. Alloy furnace. The reason there are 6 chests is because of how much modularity I back. 52,000, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, that took like 3 hours to process. At the back here, I've got an item conduit outputting to a drawer wall because I don't want to clog up the output chest with the stuff that I made a lot of. Like for example, 5,800 tough alloy, 4,400 crystal team. I don't want that to be in the output chest. I should probably put lead, platinum alloy, and like some other stuff. But now with chapter 4 and with planetary rocks, I can pass it. Which is nice. Enchantment applicator, potion brewer. This is a crafter for my rings, so if I like put in this, it gets charged. This is a pressurizer for the plates that aren't in the Tech Reborn places for some reason. This is a fluid infuser with resin ender, an industrial grinder with water for purposes, or really just yellow garnet. Carpenter and thermionic fabricator for peat, mechanical squeezer for emberstone, super cooler for liquid helium coolers, chemical reactor, rock crusher, fluid enricher, and melter and crystallizer for borax. This is an induction smelter that I actually automated because I needed a bunch of fun. And here I have a setup for beryllium, where I input empty cells here, I EMC and grind down emeralds. I input it here, and then it automatically gives me beryllium. Because I need hundreds of cells, and I'm not doing that manually. Protein compressor for hyperchitinous plates. Arc furnace for will steel. Metal press for, I think, graphite rods and objects of great mass. Even though I haven't made that. Mixer for various recipes. And a crusher for, I think, I'm not sure what I need a crusher for. I remember there being something that I could make only exclusively with Russian. I don't remember what. Most of engineering Russia. Not Ojurite, that's for sure. Cyanide. Yeah, I don't remember what it was. But there was something that I could make only with a crusher. Yeah. Willpower for the will. Here's my chicken resource production. As you can see, I've ramped on my draw wall quite a bit with DML stuff as well. I've still got my bee setup. I think this is from like chapter 1 or something like that. I've got a skulking bee here for some reason. Still making furtive combs. By the way, the warper here is for just for anyone wondering. Dripping combs for Mr. Agriculture. I have a variety of chickens for slow production. And an obsolete wool setup. And really, the main production goes on the top floor in the mechanical coops, and I just swap them out whenever needed. This is a villager trade exchanger from Industrial Food Growing. It helps me cheese bewitchment. An extractor, 4 extractors actually, with 2 overclockers and 2 transformers for the resources the mechanical coop produces. Here's my DML setup. I've got 1 swamp creature data model and 1 glacier inhabitant data model. This one is for charms of keeping, and this one is for raw ironwood materials. One is used in phytogenic insulators for V-seeds, and the other one is used for starfield gems and base wafers, which are used for advanced rocketry machines. This is basically just my go crazy build a LOM base floor. It has all of my multi-blocks and also a couple passives. Here is my steam slime production. I think this ran out. No. This ran out of coal. But the sink is also connected to this lava, no, this photogenic insulator for spirit fruit. Yeah, this is for sap spirit. These 2 are for resonant ender and destabilized redstone, respectively. Valenite gateway for deep matter. And actually, I was experimenting with MeatballCraft, but I still can't get this to work. So, yeah. Cold iron forge for recipes. Here are my 3 mechanical cubes that I swap out. 1 for the recipes with charcoal, which are used in mithrilium and cold iron only. Actually, I thought it would have been a lot. I thought there would have been a lot more recipes for that. These 2 are for the conventional extractor recipes. I'll stack them as I get more recipes like garnets and stuff like that. Oops, not really fall that far. Just install. Here's my passive laser set. It gets that. It has quartz and stuff. It has an extract speed of 6, and that perfectly matches this. Don't ask me how. I spent like a billion years figuring it out. This is my quantum compressor setup with testicators. Actually, I should start beginning making something there. Yeah. Iron, lapis, redstone, coal, emerald, glowstone, gold. Yeah, these all have AMC. Altar for the first couple enchantment craft. Here are my mythic miners. Tier 1 and 2 don't require fluid. The fluids for tier 3, 4, and 5. Oops. 3, 4, and 5 are all being produced in the same compact machine, which I'll show you later. The fluid for 6 is just manually made right here. This is where the edit chest from before were going to a impulse hopper, which inputs a stack at a time, to and a Dragonfire forge, which then goes to the Dragonfire crucible, which makes dreaded steel, which then goes to is made into Nethenjaic runes, and then turned into the Nethenjaic fluid by this dreading crucible. There are still some in here because the mythic miner is still running, but this is the Gaia altar used for making sacred wood and probably some other stuff in the future. Herny altar for Horcruxes. Um, Actually, I forgot to bring this liquid LP tank back to my. Let me find out. Did I swap? Oh, no. Back to my LP sterilizer, I think this is called. Here. So I was working for a while. This is my LP sterilizer. It runs off of raw beef and it turns into liquid LP. And this is my PE sterilizer. It runs off of ender pearls and it turns that into liquid PE. And it all goes in this, I forgot what it's called, sterilized sacrificial. That's it. Which is, has an ender chest coming from the autocraft. Actually, I just realized I forgot to explain these machines over here. These are for my on-demand crafts that require speed. Assembly machine for black iron, electric furnace for smelting, grinder for macerating, alloy smelter for electrum only, compressor for plates, clay bending machine for other plates, wire mill for knives. Don't ask me why I need 3 separate machines for plates. Ask Sam, or however the hell you pronounce his name. These are my 2 Invtech void miners. Null modifiers on the tier 4 ore miner because I can't afford the RF, and speed modifiers on the tier 3 resource miner because that requires a lot less. Also, I didn't have mica, so here's my rocket fuel setup, also used for Deal of the Void in order to make plasma. This is my fusion setup. Now, fusion is really expensive. And that is because of these iridium neutron reflectors, 4 for fusion coil, 8 thick, so that's 32 for fusion coil, 4 basic, so that is 128 for fusion coil. Yeah, it's 8 stacks of dust, both kinds of dust, per coil. And you need 21 of these. So that's why I had to make the gun. It also requires peat, which is pain. But otherwise, this wasn't that bad. Then here I have my 3 advanced rocketry multi-blocks that I need. The cutting machine, the crystallizer, and the precision assembler, which is the controllers here. They actually look really cool while doing an animation. And here I have my compact crafting setup. This is my failed crop breeder. It doesn't work. Ignore this. This is my farm for holly top petals. These things grow so slowly. And so I need to make a huge farm. And they're also my farm for conducting. So now we move over here. This is my peat farm. I tried to make this a different biome, but it didn't work. Yeah, you see it says jungle. I tried to make this jungle, but it didn't work. Underneath is where the magic happens. Underneath there is a carpenter with crated bog earth being crated in, and unpackaging it to make bog earth, and then putting there. This farm makes bog earth, dirt, and peat. But like, I mean, it makes peat so slowly. I don't know if you can tell what happened here, but this is a result of me trying to farm spirit tree leaves manually. Should probably take those. Otherwise, this is my Guardian of Gaia fight. This is my Guardian of Gaia. Here we have my Mistfall Agriculture Farm. I have plant gatherers, harvesting a range of crops with leaf paths of fertility in them. And yeah, we have a bunch of ingots. Outputting 2 glass. And Eulorium feeding my big reactor. Which it's quite big, you might be able to see it. This produces some. And I could turn hover off for some reason. And speed run up this ladder. And we will get to my astral sorcery. This is my attunement altar, my telescope, 2 light walls because the containment altar is stupid. My ritual, this is Mineralis, I think. My Mineralis ritual, which I still haven't unrelated. This is for my, this is for resplendent. My iridescent altar, with a collector crystal. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, right, I haven't showed these parts yet. This is a recipe, for nether stars. Um, Looks like it stopped because it filled up with red stuff. Why isn't this working? The output isn't filling anything. I don't know what's going on. That's so weird. But we have more nether stars than we're ever going to. This is my inscriber setup. It's a huge mess, so I won't attempt to clean it. Actually, I will do that. Here I have a. Here I have a. So this is for. I can't even. Okay, so we started circular quartz, then we go up to circular quartz dust. That's why it wasn't working, because I forgot to lock the slots. There we go. Oh my god. Oh I just voted them up. Oh my god, past me was so stupid. Basically, we have certain quartz going out of this energy condenser, then being crushed. Then going to this crafter with sand to make certain quartz seeds. Then going to the crystal growth chamber to make pure certain quartz crystals. Then being inscribed to make printed calculation circuits. Inscribed again to make calculation processors. This inscriber is for silicon. Actually, there's an inscriber for silicon in all of these. And here is the logic circuit setup and the engineering circuit. This is for the Fluix loop, 07 Fluix loop, RIP, 2021 to 2023, brutally killed by Sena before your time. These are my Gravitite enchanters. They're for empowered Gravitite, enchanted Gravitite, for empowered. And this is my mess of an atomic reconstructor self-regulating buffer tracking setup. It's broken, if you can't tell. I think I might just replace this with a damn controller. Or just add a void upgrade. Yeah, void upgrade. Now it should be working. Yeah, I probably need some more extract speed on this too. By the way, I gave extract speed to EMC because I was just fed up with batching electrical steel. I've been doing it since chapter 1. Come on, give me. And yeah, here's my Empower setup. It uses interfaces, some of which are below the display stands, and some of which are on the level of the display stands. So you're just gonna have to cope with that. I have conduits that are filtered. And that's about it. Yeah. This would be gravitate if, like, I'm taking it off this because I don't need it anymore. This is my scorcher farm. Basically, a powered spawn scorchers in a dry area with an open block sponge, and then the scorchers naturally fly up where they hit water, take massive damage, and die. It's that simple, but it's that effective. 6,000 purple blades. Um, and yeah, let's move on to the compact machines. So this first goblin machine is for mythic fluids as well as EMC items. It's a bit of a mess because testicators break a lot of things, but there's a bunch of compacting. Here is the multi-block for the tier 3 fluid, dimensional essence. Here is the multi for the tier 4, which is on manually crafted. Now it's tier 5. This is the one. You know what I should do? I should really put a crafting card on this to make eyes. Yeah, that's what. Actually, I'll do that right now. I'll put a crafting card, tell this to stock one eye, and hope it won't be too much of a nuisance. I've been working. Crafting card. Eye. Ever watching. I'm gonna connect the system to it as well. And it should automatically generate fluid. Because this is only the ever watching eye, and so I think it should be. It's not working for some reason. Can I craft an ever watching eye? No, I can't. I'm missing void dust and nether scrap steel. Alright, anyway, I'll go through that rabbit hole after this video. But yeah, that's just the gist of it. This is my V crystal setup. There used to be flat cellars, but those didn't work, so I replaced it with resonant phytogenic insulators, all with 3 nutrient recovery and 1 monoculture cycle, making the aspects for Adam. Yeah. Here I have a dank storing all that, and 16 essential crystallizers. Yes, I know how wall sharing works. No, I'm not going to do it. It hurts my brain. And anyway, this setup is complicated enough without wall sharing. Good. Black. I love it. Cord slivers are EMC'd here. And yeah. Let's just get out. Get into number 2. And get into machine number 3, which is Thaumcraft. So this is the Arcane Auto Workbench. It might not look like much, but it constantly breaks, and I have no clue why. But yeah, I'm using packaged auto here to import the recipes. And here is the auto infusion matrix. Also, recipes imported. And I suppose the last thing left is the space station. I press tab, my jetpack sometimes. By the way, those go-to commands was I left my rocket on Sedna and forgot. Oh, I haven't found my dislocator. Despite having teleported to... Alright, well, I'm too lazy. I'll just find it. So, yeah, this is the corridor where all my dissicators are. I think it works, although I haven't really tested it, so it'd be really embarrassing if it didn't. But I'm gonna have a screen on all of these showing where this goes. So it's said now. The screen module is at the top of the space station. I should probably park this somewhere else because the gravity is miserable here. But I mean, I have steppages, so I don't need to jump. How do dislocators even work? Error, this channel can only be run so I swear to God, these pedestals. Okay, doesn't matter. I'll figure that out. Here's my warp core being fed by tritanium crystals. I tried to make a dome here. I don't know if I succeeded too well. But, as you can see, I have a Senna artifact. And yeah, there are 19 here. For the 10 soul planets, the 5 planets are current artifact, 4 Dynatos squared. The 4 planets are current artifact, the 10 soul planets, the 4 Dynatos planets, no, the 5 planets that are current artifacts. Stupid. The 5 planets that are current artifacts, so these are the 10 soul planets, then Rhenium, Myrmex, Proxima Belt. I forgot what comes next. Oh yeah, Proxima Belt, the Dynatos planets. These four are the Dynatos planets. And this is the, okay, if I ever get that far, without losing my sense. Um, so yeah, this is my rocket setup. I got the under tank rocket fuel from earlier. The rocket assembly machine. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this base tour. Hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, see you in the next episode. However long that takes.